Hello, everyone. This is Josh Albayero again, and I'm bringing you another episode of the podcast. And taxes are simple, right? You see it, taxes are simple, and we're simplifying the process of filing your taxes. So if you're using a tax preparer, if you're using a CPA to file your simple taxes, then consider using IOOGO. You can do it from your own home. We can do a professional second review for you. And if you're wasting your money and time using TurboTax and spending hours and hours, doing your taxes, then consider IOOGO Tax. We focus on accuracy and time. We're not always free, but neither are those guys, right? Those are fake free. So we are focused on time. We are changing the way you file your taxes, right? No, don't go to the tax preparer anymore. Don't go to don't get scammed into an upgrade fee. So, all right, let's talk about the American Opportunity Tax Credit today. And what I want to do is I want to take you through several steps. What is the American Opportunity Tax Credit? One, let's understand that this credit can get you a max of $2,500 per eligible student. And who is that student? It could be you. It could be your spouse. It could be one of your dependents, right? A kid that finished high school and is going to college now. So we're going to talk about how you can maximize your own refund, your return, by lowering your taxes and increasing the amount of refund in some cases, right? So let's get right to it. The American Opportunity Credit, now it has a maximum credit of up to $2,500 per qualified student. And how does it work? And let's look right there, right? How does the American Opportunity Credit work? Number one, you must be enrolled in an eligible school. So must be enrolled in an eligible school, like, the university or college that you, your spouse, or one of your kids is enrolled in. So you're probably wondering or saying, hey, how do I know, Josh, if I am enrolled in a school and if my kids are enrolled in an eligible school? And you're going to get this form at the end of the year if you are paying for your kids' school or your kids receiving any kind of scholarships or anything like that. You're going to receive form 1098T, that's tomato, as you can see it there. And this form, what this form is going to do is right here on line 1, is going to detail all the payments that the eligible school receive under the name of the student. Again, that student can be you, your spouse, or any of your dependents. And once you get this form, you can go into your tax return and you can go into IOOGO Tax and file this form. Very simple steps. I'm going to show you how to do that today. But the most important part to understand with line 1 is that the line 1 is going to say that this is all the money that we receive under the name of the student, but it's not saying this is all the money that you spent. So you need to be able to understand that the line 1 might say $16,000, but out of your pocket, how much money came out of your pocket really, right? So maybe you received $10,000 in scholarship and $6,000 came out of your pocket, or maybe $10,000 came out of your pocket and $6,000 worth of scholarship, right? So be careful with that number, that line on the number 1, because that doesn't mean that all of that money is what you should claim as your expense, right? And I mean, you pay for it, so you should know how much money you actually paid for the tuition, your tuition or your kid's tuition for college, right? So let's go to the next step. You must have never taken the American Opportunity Tax Credit before, right? So this is where I go and explain that this credit is best used in the first or second year of your or your kid's school, college school or college or university, right? So like, your kid just finished high school or finished high school last year or 2 years ago and it's now in college. and now you have this form because of the tuition payments that you made for your kid or for yourself, and you're heading towards that bachelor's degree, right? You're heading towards that 4-year degree. You can only use this credit one time within those 4 years. So let's go to the next step. You must have not completed the post-secondary education. So let's bring that back to English, right? You must not have completed the post-secondary education. What that means is that you must not have completed your 4 years of education, right? So if you already completed those 4 years, maybe you're getting your master's right now, maybe you're getting your PhD. This is not for you. You have another credit that I'm going to explain later in the series, but this is really for those first 4 years of college, a very, very good credit. So let's go to the next and last step, which is requirement, if you want to call it, right? You must have your spouse, or your kid, your dependent must have a valid social security number enabled to claim this credit. Why? Because the law says so, and there's nothing I can do. There's nothing your CPA, there's nothing TurboTax can do. It's embedded into the law. So whenever you enter a non-working social security number, then the systems, whether it's my system, your CPA systems, your tax preparer system, TurboTax, is going to disqualify the person from participating from the credit because the law says so, right? We all use the same law. So there you go. So you have, now you know how it works, right? Now let's go to the actual credit, because that's the fun part, right? It's now I know how I qualify. Well, how much do I get if I qualify? How much will I receive in American Opportunity Credit money if I qualify? So number one, let's understand this. This is a 2-part credit, one of those 2-part credits. What I mean by that is that it has a part that's non-refundable and a part that is refundable. As you can see, you can receive up to $2,500 in total credit, but $1,500 it's non-refundable. So what does that mean for you when I say non-refundable? Well, it means that if you owe taxes at the end of the year, then those $1,500 are going to be applied to those taxes you owe at the end of the year. So am I talking about the current debt that you have with the IRS for prior years? No, I'm talking about you underpaying the government, the IRS, throughout 2019. Based on your salary, you were supposed to pay $5,000 in taxes, but you ended up paying $3,000 in taxes. So now you owe the IRS $2,000. Well, guess what? Those $1,500 are going to be applied. Those $1,500 and more are going to be applied in this case, right? So non-refundable, anytime you hear the word refundable, non-refundable means it's being applied to my tax obligation for that year. So it's being applied for whatever taxes I owe at the end of the year. So now you, let's say that you, let's say that you understand this now, right? $1,500 non-refundable. What about the remainder of the $1,000, right? That is refundable. That means it's going to show up in your check or your direct deposit if you do qualify for the max. Based on your expenses, based on your education expenses, you can receive up to $1,000 refundable. So when you put both of them together, you have the $2,500 credit, right? Now, if you, at the end of the year, and I'll give you this example, let's say that at the end of the year, I was supposed to pay $5,000 in taxes. I only paid $3,000 throughout the tax year. So what that says is that I owe the IRS $2,000, right? I was supposed to pay $5,000. I only paid $3,000, so $2,000 is still owed. So the IRS is going to take the $1,500 non-refundable plus $500 out of my refundable credit and cover the taxes and send me $500 my way. That's how all these credits work. Even if it's refundable, if you owe taxes, the IRS is going to apply the refundable part as well to your tax obligation for that year, right? So perfect. So now you understand what it is, how it works, and how much of it you can qualify for. Why don't we spend the next 3 minutes, and we go into IOOGO Tax, and I show you how you can enter what's on the form 1090A, because you need this form in order to be able to claim the credit, right? So, and even if it comes on your kid's name, you are going to claim the credit because your kid didn't pay for it, you pay for it. So why don't we do this? Let's jump into IOOGO Tax. All right, so here I am. As you can see on my screen, I also have IOOGO Tax and open. So I'm going to log in. How do you go to IOOGO Tax? You go to www.ioogotax or ioogo.com, or you go to tax.ioogo.com. We can, put those links here in the comment section for you. You can just Google IOOGO, and we are the only IOOGO. So let's go right into the credit. So as you can see, you can file your taxes in minutes right there, right? 5 simple steps, right? Credits. Let's go ahead and say go. And the system is going to take me step by step. So I'm going to land here right in the credit section, and check it out. I have tuitions and expenses for college and higher education. That's whenever you're going to enter that 1098. And the system tells you right there, look, it tells you that you are going to need that form 1098. So I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to hit next. So I'm going to make the screen, I'm going to zoom into the screen so you can see what I am doing, right? So there I am. Check it out. I want you to see the other credits, right? Credits like child independent credit, earned income credit, and child tax credit have already been selected. They also have an amount here that I qualify, but this one right here is still red, and it says not started. So simple as that. So I'm going to add the expenses, and there you go. I'm gonna answer yes or no to certain questions, right? Did the student receive a 1098? Which student received the 1098? So I'm going to pick the student. I'm gonna say it's me, right? And a question that only you can answer: Have you claimed the American Opportunity or Hope credit before? I'm gonna say no for this example. The next question is that if the student was enrolled at least half time for at least one semester in 2019, I'm going to say yes. Did the student earn a 4-year college credit for 2019, before 2019? I'm going to say no. Was the student convicted of a felony for possessions or distributions of controlled substances? I'm going to say no. Only you can answer these questions, right? So I'm going to click next, and here I am. I am at the form now. Now I'm copying and pasting what's on the form. 1098T says that the school is called UTD, and that their EIN number is 031794069, and that they are located in 1234 Dallas Drive, and their zip code is 75204. So they're in Dallas, Texas. And the box, when I look at the 1098T form, it says that we paid $6,000 towards tuition, but I know that I only pay $4,000. So the other $2,000 are scholarships and things of that nature, right? So that's it. That's all you have to do. And if you need to add another school or another 1098, you just do it here. So now let's go ahead and click save, and let's see what happens, right? IOOGO Tax is crunching the numbers for you, and boom, there you go. Check it out. I have a $1,000 refundable credit. So later on, you can see if the other $1,500 were applied to your tax liability. But for right now, it's telling me that I received a $1,000 refundable credit, which means that my refund is going to be a little bit bigger, $1,000 bigger. And guess what? That's it. That's how you do it. You don't have to answer multiple questions and pay for upgrades to see if you qualify. No, you just go, follow the process, go through the process, and you enter your 1098T, and boom, you're ready to go. You maximize your credits and deductions. So that's it for episode 6 of Taxes Are Simple. This is the podcast with Josh. I am the CEO of IOOGO. I am a tax expert, and I can talk taxes all day long, but I know you won't. So why don't we do this? Let's connect again in the next episode, and if you have any questions, send them my way. You can do that through IOOGO.com. You can do that through our Facebook page. You can do that through Instagram and any of the other social medias outlets that we have. And Also, YouTube. You can watch all of our videos there. We post almost every week, and we have all the tutorials for IOOGO tax and IOOGO books. So, all right, bye-bye. We'll see you next time.